All right, 15. Tax on commercial industrial properties for education and local government funding initiative. All right, so first of all, yes, property taxes do give a lot of their money does go to schools. And if you actually read the preposition in your ballot book or your information guide, there are percentages that go here and go there. A lot of it does go to schools, but there's this idea that if you just keep throwing money at schools, they're going to do good. And that's a lie. That's a lie. The money you throw at education and the level of education you get isn't always related. California has millions of kids, yes, but it also spends, well, if you look at any numbers range from 12,000 a student to 20,000 a student per year. So that's an insane amount of money. So in your elementary class, first graders, 25 of them, 25 times 12 is 250, $300,000. Do you feel that that class is a $300,000 class? I don't. I'm not blaming the teacher, not at all. And the reason it's a $300,000 class is because there's a bunch of administrative bullshit that goes into the education system. So I don't think throwing money into the education system is useful. No, you have to make the education system better. If there was actually a push for a better kind of education, I really don't know, just education that's more conducive to critical thinking and not just regurgitation, then yeah, I'd be all for it. But our current level of education is only indoctrination, repetition, and just not questioning anything. Really, the kids are being told what they need to learn in order to pass the test, and that's all they need to learn. No, you should learn how to learn and learn on the go and make decisions like on the fly, and to be able to critically think and not have to ask everyone questions all the time, because this is what I'm fucking getting. It's a question world, and it's good when you ask questions, but if you can never actually deduce anything for yourself, your education system failed you. Straight up. So taxing commercial and industrial properties for education and local government. I'm already voting no. I'm already telling you guys I'm gonna vote no. So a yes vote supports this constitutional amendment to require commercial and industrial properties, except those zoned as commercial agriculture, to be taxed on their market value rather than their purchase price. Market value, how much your property is worth. Purchase price, how much your property was worth when you bought it. So how property taxes work is that they're usually incrementing at a 2% rate from the purchase price every 2 years. So every 2 years from the purchase price, 2% is how they calculate property tax. That's it. If you were actually going to measure on market value, that means every year people would have to pay more in property tax. What does that mean? That means that people that are renting their house would have to rent for more. That also means that everything just gets more expensive. When you raise property taxes, you're going to raise rents. You are. And we have very high property. Well, I'm not going to say very high property rights, but our property is too goddamn expensive already. So it makes it really expensive to do anything here. All right. So a no vote opposes this constitutional amendment, thus continuing to tax commercial industrial properties based on a property's purchase price with annual increases equal to the rate of inflation of 2% or 2%, whichever is lower. Okay. So I'm sorry. It's not every 2 years. I thought I read in the book every 2 years, but I guess not. So annual increases equal to the rate of inflation or 2%, whichever is lower. So at max 2%. Right now, so if you buy a house for $1 million, you can say that property tax would be $20,000. Okay. Now, if your house in 2 years goes up $1.5 million, well, now you're paying 2% on that. You're not paying 2% on the inflation rate or 2% of your property. No, that was a 50% increase in value. You're going to have to pay that property tax now. So if your property gains value, you're going to be paying way more. There are exceptions. I think the exceptions is if you have like, if it's a residential and if you have less than, oh, that might be the other one. But let's keep reading. So right here, in California, the proposal to assess taxes on commercial and industrial properties at the market value while continuing to assess taxes on residential properties based on the purchase price is known as a split rule. The change from the purchase price to market value would be phased in beginning in fiscal year 2022 and 2023. So if you're thinking this property tax is going to start giving schools money right now, no, it's going to take years for everything to go into effect. It is going to cause even, well, anything the government does causes bureaucracy. So I'm going to leave it there. Properties such as retail centers whose occupants are 50% or more small businesses would be taxed based on market value beginning in fiscal year 2025, or at a later date that legislature decides on. Proposition 15 would define small businesses as those that are independently owned and operated, own California property, and have 50 or fewer employees. All right. So small businesses would be taxed based on market value beginning in 2025. That still sounds bad. The ballot initiatives would make exceptions for properties whose business owners have 3 million or less in holdings in California. The ballot initiative will make an exception for properties whose business owners have 3 million or less in holdings in California. That means everything you have, holdings. I'm assuming that's what it means. These properties would continue to be taxed based on their purchase price. The ballot initiative would exempt small businesses, tangible personal property from taxes, and $500,000 in value for non-small businesses, tangible personal property. Man, see, this is where the wording starts getting fucking confusing because a bunch of terminology most of us have never come in contact with. So Proposition 15 would make the California State Legislature responsible for passing laws for a phase-in of the market value-based tax on commercial and industrial properties, how often reassessments would occur, no less than 3 years between reassessments, and an appeals process for challenging reassessments. Oh, shit. They're just creating more bureaucracy, people. Proposition 13, 1978 is where we have the purchase price. Taxes limited to no more than 1% of the purchase price at the time of purchase, with an annual adjustment equal to the rate of inflation or 2%, whichever is lower. According to the State Legislative Analyst Office, the market values of California tend to increase faster than 2% per year, meaning the taxable value of commercial and industrial property is often lower than the market value. Yes. So right now, we're being taxed at the taxable value means is going whatever their numbers are, the increasing rate of inflation or 2%, whichever is lower. The market value, if your house or property increases in 20%, you're going to get charged for that 20%. So Proposition 15 would create the process in the state to constitution for distributing revenue from the revised tax on commercial and industrial properties. Okay. Oh, here's the percentages right here. First, the revenue would be distributed to the state to supplement decreases in revenues from the state's personal income tax and corporation tax due to increased tax deductions. B, counties to cover the cost of implementing the measure. Second, wait, hold up. The ballot initiative would distribute the revenue to specific areas rather than the general fund first. Oh, so the initiative is going to get the money to do the bureaucracy first and pay all that, and then start giving it to the schools. Second, 60% of the remaining funds would be distributed to local governments and special districts, and 40% would be distributed to school districts and community colleges. Ah, it's not even for education that much. So 40% goes to school districts and community colleges. 60% would be distributed to local governments and special districts. The fuck? So local governments will still get a piece of this money. Revenue appropriate for education would be divided as follows: 11% for community colleges and 89% for public schools, charter schools, and county education offices. Okay. There will also be a requirement that schools and colleges receive an annual minimum of $100 adjusted each year per full-time student. Okay, so instead of 12,000, it'll be 12,100 per student. All right, ballot title, we already know this. So summary, let's read the summary and then go into the sponsorships because we're not gonna get into a full text. That's something you can read. Ballotpedia has all the information you would need. Go for it. So ballot summary is as follows. Increases funding for K-12 public schools, community colleges, and local governments by requiring that commercial and industrial real property be taxed based on current market value instead of purchase price. This is the main difference. They're going to start taxing market value instead of purchase price, meaning you're going to get taxed more. Exempts from taxation changes, residential properties, okay? Agricultural land and owners of commercial and industrial properties with combined value of 3 million or less. Residential properties will not be taxed, okay? They're not going to get taxed based on market value. Just all commercial and industrial properties. Agricultural land, okay? Now we're talking about, I guess we're just talking about commercial properties, commercial and industrial, which means all your businesses. Where your businesses rent, commercial and industrial. Combined value of $3 million or less. How many people have 2 buildings worth more than $3 million in California? California is a really expensive place. $3 million seems like a big number, but it's what? 2 buildings? 1 building in the right place, 2 in okay places, 3 in all right places, 4 or 5 in kind of shitty places. So don't get confused with these, with the 3 million or less. It's not that hard to get $3 million value if you're an actual investor. Any additional education funding would supplement existing school funding guarantees. Okay. Exempts small businesses from personal property tax. For other businesses, provides $500,000 exemption. And again, small businesses are defined as 50 employees or less. If we look up here, yeah. Something like that. Here you go. Define small businesses as those that are independently owned and operated, own California property, have 50 or fewer employees. So you won't have to pay you have a $500,000 exemption. With 50 employees, 500,000 is 10,000 a pop. No. Yeah, it is. All right, I don't know how big or small that is. My main point is they're going to increase commercial property taxes, which is going to increase rent. It is going to increase rent. Whatever the fuck they're saying is asinine. Because when owners have to pay more, they obviously charge the renters more. The owners aren't going to be like, well, it's okay, I'm going to lose money. Nah. Good luck with that shit. Good luck with that. Yeah, let's check out this readability score. Some of these, like, yeah. Interesting. So support. Again, look at who the fuck is supporting all these things. Look at who is trying to get into your money. Random people from different states that are supporting it. Like, I don't care. Cory Booker, you're from New Jersey. Get out of my face. Bernie Sanders, I used to love you. Independent? Come on, bro. We all know you left as fuck now. Disappointing. Elizabeth Warren, again, don't give a shit. Like, why are they even on here? All right. So just look at the D. Yeah. Bunch of Democrats supporting this. No wonder. Joe Biden supporting this? Definitely vote no. Bloomberg? Nope. Buttigieg? I still don't care. Who the hell are these people to like start chiming in on California property taxes? Why the fuck do they care? This is so weird. Everybody just jumps into their parties and start fucking. So political parties, the Democratic Party obviously fucking supports this. The Green Party, weird as hell is that they supported this, but I guess they will support more money for schools, even if it's just robbing their people. School districts, obviously, supervisors, whatever. I don't care. You're obviously going to benefit from this. I don't care if you benefit. No, I don't care if you support it if you're going to be directly benefiting from it. It's kind of like, yes, we know who you're rooting for. Teachers Association, nurses. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. Lots of unions working together. Great. I still don't think you should take it from the taxpayer. I still don't think that the education system is even good. I think parents should start teaching their kids more. There should be more at-home learning and individual learning. Like, kids are already learning whatever the fuck they want on the internet. They don't really need schools, but yeah, we need to revamp our education system. So arguments for, I'll let you guys read those. The opposition, very few people opposing it. The Republican Party is opposing it, which I'm kind of commending, because look what it's called: Stop Higher Property Taxes and Save Prop 13. So we can provide a list of opponents available here. Corporations who are not in favor of this are, well, a bunch of property corporations, because Paramount Group Inc. Yeah, I don't know what any of these are, but I'm pretty sure they're all going to lose money. Oh, wow. Look at everybody who's not in favor. Fucking AM Vets, Department of California, Americans for Tax Reform, Beer and Beverage Distributors, Chamber of Commerce, Property Association, Business Roundtable, Chamber of Commerce, Farm Bureau Federation, Grocers Association, Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Yeah, it's obviously going to affect all of them, and they're all going to lose money. So these organizations are going to lose money because they're going to have to pay higher property taxes. These people up here are going to gain money. Okay, I don't know about the organizations here, but a lot of the people supporting it, they're directly going to benefit. I always look at who's against and who's for something, and the party lines that they come up with. So, okay. Businesses are not with this. It's basically all you gotta really understand. Oh, wow, look at this. Support. $42,933,295.63. Sounds like people really want to pass this shit. Oppose? $29,906,729.40. Sounds like people really don't want this to pass, but the support part gets the majority. So schools and communities first, except that schools and communities don't get the money first. Like, I don't trust the city government with general funds. That means that's too non-specific, and city governments, like, you've seen that shit in Brea, spending money for stupid shit. Like, come on, get out of here. So the support, San Francisco Foundation, I don't know what that is. California Teachers Association, of course they would. Of course you support anything that gives them more money. $11.7 million of support. That's some money right there. Chan Zuckerberg advocacy? Oh, fuck no. If Zuckerberg's advocating for this, I am definitely against this bill. Fuck Zuckerfucks. That guy needs to, no. Who's around here? Stop higher food taxes. No on 15. Taxes save. Everything just has the 15 on it. Business Roundtable is giving a lot of money against this. Taxpayer Association, protect taxpayers' rights. They don't want... I don't understand how the Democratic Party doesn't give a shit about taxing people. It just seems like everybody that is in those ideologies and in those tables, they just seem to groupthink a lot. Like, Republicans groupthink, but I don't think to the same degree. I do not. The left goes really weird, or Democrats go really weird. All right, so opposition, blah, blah, blah. See what else we got. These are the polls where people are at. Support against, support against. It looks like everybody's for it, but that's probably only because everybody's looking at it and going, oh yeah, money for education. Yeah, we always need more money for education. Nobody ever says we need a better fucking education system. We do. Tax policy, certification, provisions. All right, so I'm gonna call it done with ballot 15. If you guys want more higher property taxes for commercial estates and industrial, that means that those people are going to pay rent at a higher rate. And that means that everything you do in California is going to become more expensive. Then I'll go for it. If you want everything in California to become even more expensive, perfect. If you want to give our shitty education system even more money, perfect. This is the ballot for you. As for me, I'm gonna vote no, and you're gonna see that most of these ballots I'm gonna vote no on because government bureaucracy needs to calm the fuck down.